Happy WrestleMania week from Squared Circle Radio. It is Friday. Tomorrow is the granddaddy of them all. Hope you are as excited about it as we are. It is XL, like we've been talking about, for good reason. Welcome into Head-to-Head Trivia. I'm your host, Chris Belcher, alongside the young buck, Mr. Andy York. Andy, we're 24 hours away, man.
24 hours away. It feels like Christmas Eve.
It really is Christmas Eve. As I kicked off the beginning of this week with Josh Pate, I said it, it's Christmas season for all wrestling fans. And most of the time, you know, depending on what you do with your family, Christmas is either contained to like 1, maybe 2 days or whatever.
Yeah.
No.
It's a whole
Wrestling fans, we celebrate it all week long. And it's amazing. We celebrate it all together as wrestling fans. We've been to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
You walk and talk with people that you don't even know, but you have so much. It's amazing. It's so good.
Yeah.
So if this is your first time tuning in with us, make sure you like and subscribe wherever you find your podcast. Make sure that you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. All of the things. Follow us on social media at SQCircle_radio. Tons of content for you to go back and check out. Without any further ado, let's bring our special guest in. I know you see him on the screen, but I want to introduce him to you. He is a regular contributor here on Squared Circle Radio. He was actually on the show last week. He's on the MCWF every single Thursday. The man, Tyler Peters, our fantastic host. Tyler, how are you, man?
I am doing fantastic. Gentlemen, thank you for having me on. And you're right. WrestleMania, it feels like Christmas. You can put Easter with it, all the holidays. As wrestling fans, it's an exciting time. And I cannot wait for WrestleMania. And I cannot wait even more to be on this show, and it's finally here. Talk about a Christmas gift coming spring.
Well, listen, yesterday on the MCWF, again, if you haven't checked it out, go back in our archives. Yesterday, I kind of put Tyler on the spot, and I told him, he said he was nervous. And I said, well, for good reason. I'm going to let you sit and cook. Well, here we are. You've cooked long enough. Let's see what happens. No, in all seriousness, we have fun on this. We try to stump each other, but we have fun. Trivia is a lot of fun. We're going to have a good time. And, of course, with Tyler, we got to try to keep the train on the tracks, Tyler. Here we go.
We do. It's going to be a blast. I trust you guys. That's why I'm a part of Square Circle Radio on certain shows. And it's just going to be a lot of fun.
I'm just happy we finally hit the stretches of WrestleMania that I'm going to know a lot more about than WrestleMania. What was it, 11 through 20? I did not. That was a rough one.
Yeah.
That was a rough one.
That is true. Yeah, that's true.
Granted, I was born in that time period.
You were born the year of WrestleMania 12. You were born closer to WrestleMania 13 than you were to 12.
Yeah. So, yeah.
This should be fun. 31 through 40. Before we get there, though, we're gonna look back at some WrestleMania cities. There have been technically 41 host cities for WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah.
There's been 41. So we're going to put 5 minutes on the clock on our little quiz app here, and we're going to see how many we can name. So we'll go back and forth. I'll give an answer. Andy will give an answer. Tyler will give an answer. And we'll go till we get them all or until the time runs out. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right.
It sounds like a plan.
I will go first. Timer is running, and I'm going to go with New York City. That's an easy one. That knocks out about 3 or 4. Andy, give us one.
I will go with Dallas.
Dallas will give us a couple as well. Tyler, throw me out a city that's hosted WrestleMania.
I am going to go with New Orleans.
Ooh, 30 and 34. That's nice. I'm going to go with Chicago.
Houston.
That is nail on the head. Tyler, up to you.
Orlando.
Orlando has hosted 3, including the pandemic WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. I'm going to go with Los Angeles.
I will go with Atlanta.
Oh, that's a rando. Tyler?
I'm going to go with Seattle.
Oh, that's another rando. I'm going to go with Detroit.
I'll go with the one that is not a WrestleMania city, Hartford.
We discussed that a couple weeks ago. That is correct. Tyler?
I'm going to go with Boston. I'm going to keep it in New England.
There you go. Keep it in New England. I'll stay in the New England area as well and say Philadelphia.
You took mine.
Has
it ever been to Vegas?
It has been in Las Vegas. WrestleMania 9 was in Las Vegas. Tyler?
Houston?
We said Houston. Andy got Houston.
Oh, okay. I'm going to go with, boy, this is where it gets harder. I'm going to actually go with Phoenix. Has it ever been to Phoenix?
Oh, yeah.
Been to Phoenix. That is correct.
Yep.
I'll knock out a fun one here. Atlantic City, New Jersey. The site of WrestleMania 4 and 5.
Is New York considered for WrestleMania 35?
No, but I will give it to you. It's East Rutherford, New Jersey. Tyler, looks like we've got 8 cities left.
I'm going to go with Tampa Bay. I think WrestleMania 37.
Yep.
That is correct. Let's see here. I'm going to go Indianapolis. That was WrestleMania 8. Andy?
31 was in San Francisco, right?
Yes, that is correct. Tyler, we've got 5 left.
I'm going to go with the Skydome, Toronto, Ontario. I think WrestleMania 6 where Warrior beat Hogan.
Also the site of WrestleMania 18. That is correct. So we have 12,
right.
2028. I'll go with 28, and that is Miami.
That's right.
Andy, we had this trivia question a couple of days ago, and you got it.
I did.
The side of 12 and 2000 for the win.
But I got to remember what it was. Was it Anaheim?
It was Anaheim. That is correct. We nailed it with 2 minutes to go. Good stuff, guys. Love that. All right. That was easy. We nailed that, right? Now, let's try to get to some of the hard stuff. We nailed it. Let's get to some of the hard stuff. But before we do, let's pay some bills. Make sure you're supporting SportsWire Radio, our exclusive partner. Tom and the crew over there play our shows all the time. They do a fantastic job of covering your sports, whether it's baseball, March Madness, wrestling, whatever it is. They've got you covered. SportsWireRadio.org is where you can listen live. That is sports with a Z. And if you use hashtag All Wrestling Matters on Twitter and make sure it's at Thomas Bryce 2017, that's how you can get a hold of him. And tag us as well at SQCircle_radio. It's a great family over there. We appreciate their support very much. All right, boys, let's get in it. WrestleMania 31 through 40 trivia. Now, a couple of these questions are a little general.
Okay.
Let's put it that way. So it's not necessarily specific to the event, but it all has something to do with the event.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Andy, I'm going to throw to you first.
Okay.
This weekend coming up at WrestleMania, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, and Seth Rollins will all be pulling double duty, wrestling both nights.
Okay.
Would be the first to do that. Steve Austin appeared both nights at 38, but he didn't wrestle both nights. And I'm not counting Miz's impromptu matches, so these are the first ones to pull double duty. However, Seth Rollins pulled double duty at WrestleMania 31. As we know, Money in the Bank cash-in, right there's the figure. And so he is the only one to have cashed in, obviously, Money in the Bank at WrestleMania. But he's not the first person to pull double duty at a single WrestleMania. In fact, one superstar has pulled double duty 2 years in a row at WrestleMania. Who was it?
Let's see. I know Daniel Bryan pulled double duty at 30.
At a single WrestleMania.
Was that a single WrestleMania? But back-to-back years?
Back-to-back years pulling double duty. And Tyler, you start thinking. I'm coming to you if Andy doesn't get it.
Double duty in back-to-back years.
Yep.
Is it during this?
No.
So, okay.
It's another very general.
Yeah. Back-to-back years pulling double duty. I feel like I'm just going to throw a name out there, but I don't know if he wrestled earlier that night, but I'm sure he did. We'll go with Hogan. Oh.
He did pull double duty once, but not twice. Tyler, do you have a guess?
I'm off base here. My guess is just Triple H. Just a guess.
It's not a bad guess.
Not a bad guess. Andy was the closest. You're on the right track. It wasn't Hogan, but it was Hogan's opponent. Yokozuna pulled double
Technically, he
duty
did pull double duty that
at WrestleMania 9 against Bret Hart and
then
Hogan, and then against Lex Luger and Bret Hart at WrestleMania 10.
Oh, wow.
Yokozuna pulling double duty. All right.
Wow.
Here's another
That
general.
slipped my mind.
Here's another general question. I'm going to throw to Tyler first on this one. This weekend at WrestleMania, The Rock will become the second ever wrestler to compete at a WrestleMania in 4 different decades. He's the second. Tyler, can you tell me who the first one to do it in 4 different decades?
The first one to do it in 4 different decades. Boy, this is a tough one. I'm going to go with, would it be Undertaker?
It is The Undertaker. Tyler is correct.
Yep.
The Undertaker competed in the 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and 2020s. Technically, he did. All right, Andy, speaking of The Undertaker, we all know about his impressive 21 straight wins, 24-2 overall record. 24 wins is clearly good enough for the most of all time. But which of these 4 men has the most losses in WrestleMania history? Is it Shawn Michaels? Is it The Big Show? Is it Triple H? Or is it Randy Orton?
I feel like it's... I'm going to go with Shawn. Really?
It is not Shawn Michaels. Tyler, do you have a guess between Triple H, Randy Orton, and The Big Show?
Big Show.
Is it Randy?
It is Triple H with
Really?
13 losses at WrestleMania.
I can't think of
I'm
many.
like Andy. I did not expect Triple H. Yeah.
Triple H.
Wow.
I know, right?
Huh.
All right. Andy, I'm going to go to you this one.
Okay.
Zack Ryder, your favorite, famously won the Intercontinental Championship in the opening match, WrestleMania 32. He was not originally scheduled to be in that match. It was another superstar who actually was injured a few weeks earlier on Monday Night Raw. Who was it?
Pretty sure that was Neville when he got hurt with Jericho. Yeah.
It was Neville. He got hurt against Chris Jericho just a couple weeks before Mania. They slid Zack Ryder in and said, what the heck? All right, Tyler, I'm going to throw you this one. Here we go. At most WrestleManias, there's a battle royal. Okay? Try to get everybody on the card. Most of the time it's on the pre-show. One time it was on the main card. That was the first one, WrestleMania 30. But at WrestleMania 34, fans were treated to an Easter egg. There was a participant in the pre-show battle royal that lasted all of 40 seconds. And then he made an appearance on the main card as well. But in between the time, he completely shaved his head.
I know this one.
Tyler, who was it?
I know this one.
Baron Corbin.
That is incorrect.
That
Andy, who
would
is
be
it?
Aiden English.
Aiden English.
I vividly remember that.
Aiden English came out to sing Rusev to the ring.
And he was balling over. I vividly remember being like, wait, he had hair like an hour ago.
Yes.
Why is he bald now?
He did. All right, Andy, I'm going to throw you the last one of this round, then we're going to move on to some other stuff. There are 3 men in the history of WrestleMania that have won both the Intercontinental Championship and the WWE Championship on the WrestleMania card. Who are those 3 men?
They have won or retained?
One.
Okay. So Seth Rollins is one of them.
That is correct.
Daniel Bryan is another one.
That is also correct.
The Intercontinental and
Tyler, I'm coming to you if he doesn't get the third
WWE.
one.
I'm just going to throw a random one out there because I'm not entirely sure, but I'm going to go with Macho Man.
It's a good guess.
Yeah.
Very good guess. Tyler, do you have a guess as to who the third man is? Not Hogan. Not
The
Hogan.
Rock.
What was your guess?
The Rock.
Wow.
It is incorrect.
That's a good
Correct
guess.
answer is Bret the Hitman Hart.
Oh, how did I miss that one? Oh my gosh.
He won the
Bret.
title at WrestleMania 10,
Yep.
but one of the greatest WrestleMania matches of all time against the Hot Rod Roddy Piper
Yep.
at WrestleMania
That's
8.
a classic.
That is so good. All right. Thank you guys for joining us. This is your first time. Make sure you're following us on social media at SQ_radio. Tyler is at Dustin Tyler 86. Andy is at Andy_SQR.
Yeah.
And I am at Chris Belcher 24. And if you forgot, it's on your screen. Watch us on the YouTube channel and just hit that follow button. All right. Tyler, let's get into a fun segment. Let's talk about one thing that we really haven't talked about this week, being WrestleMania week, and that is our favorite WrestleMania memories. We've all been watching wrestling for oodles of time, decades, if you will. Tyler, what are some of your earliest and favorite WrestleMania memories watching through the years?
One of my favorite WrestleMania memories has to be, speaking of Bret the Hitman Hart taking on Owen Hart at WrestleMania 10. I love that match just because you had the actual siblings competing against each other, two great storytellers. Another WrestleMania memory involves Bret Hart and Shawn for the Iron Man match at WrestleMania 12. Speaking of Anaheim, I love that match. So I've got a soft spot for not only Shawn Michaels, but Bret Hart. So here we go. I'm not taking any sides. I'm with both those guys. But there's several. I'm trying to recall. These are great questions and great callbacks because I'm trying to remember everything. But that's a couple right off the bat.
Hey, Tyler, funny sidebar here.
Oh, Lord.
Andy hates the Iron Man
I don't
match.
hate. I did not say hate. I did not say hate. I just said it's one of the most overrated WrestleMania matches of all time.
And hard to get through.
It's hard to get through. It's boring. It's very boring to me.
It is a long time. I mean, I got to admit, it takes a long time. But I guess going back to my childhood, it just it was so different.
Right.
And the training montage was like the Rocky films. They did, as much as the match, it was the storylines, the way they built it was very good. And there are some other WrestleMania moments. I mean, I think recently Roman Reigns becoming the man. I mean, even now, I think that was a big moment. Going back to Roddy Piper and all the segments he had, I think where he blew the fire extinguisher, and I forget the celebrity's
It was Burt
name,
Reynolds, wasn't it?
I think so.
I'm not sure if it was Burt Reynolds or
No,
maybe
it was Morton Downey.
Yeah.
It was Morton Downey. Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
Burt Reynolds was at WrestleMania 10. That's why
He was. You were correct. Burt Reynolds did guest star, but yeah, those Piper segments, and anytime you got Stone Cold, some of the legends. I mean, there was so much. It's hard to narrow it down. There's just a few from my childhood, even adulthood that stand out. But I'm sure I'll think of some others.
Yeah, the first WrestleMania, and I know I'm the young one here, so just bear with me. But the first WrestleMania, I remember we didn't buy the pay-per-views at all.
Sure.
So I was the kid that was on the WWE network or on the WWE website, trying to get results as they were happening, and then the next day scrambling to YouTube to try to find what was going on. So WrestleMania, the 25th anniversary WrestleMania, the whole build to Shawn Taker was just phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. That whole show is not that great.
No, it's not.
The whole WrestleMania pay-per-view, it's a one match card.
I have very fond memories of that show because I remember watching it live.
Yeah.
I have very fond memories of that show, and I probably look at it through rose-colored glasses,
Right.
honestly. But yeah, as a whole, when you go back and look at it,
The main event
not
is
great.
horrible. Triple H and Randy is so boring.
I'm not going to say horrible.
It should have been. It was a blood feud, and it was just we're just going to have rest holds, and come on, you should have tried to kill each other a little bit. Triple H literally broke into your house. You should try to kill him. But Taker Shawn was just, for everything that was iffy to bad on that show, Taker Shawn made up for it in ways that still baffles me that wasn't the main event. So WrestleMania 25, but obviously WrestleMania 38 is the first WrestleMania I ever went to in person, and being in the building, watching Stone Cold wrestle.
First time hearing that glass shatter
is ridiculous. But knowing my brother grew up watching wrestling.
Yep.
And he never got to see Stone Cold wrestle in person. And here I am at WrestleMania 38 thinking this was never going to happen.
Yep.
Here comes Stone Cold out to the ring, and not even like out to the ring just to do like a segment, hit a stunner, go home. Dude took a suplex on concrete.
Yep.
Like it was ridiculous the things that he did. And then that same night, Cody coming back, me literally almost passing out in my seat as that music hit. Just phenomenal memories.
Being at WrestleMania definitely spoils you. I've
Yeah.
been fortunate to be at 4 of them. The anticipation of Cody, like you just said, the first time hearing the glass shatter, the anticipation of The Undertaker at WrestleMania 34 was absolutely insane.
Yeah.
But I would say that my favorite WrestleMania memory, and Andy, you could probably comment on this too, is that how you felt. I will never, ever, for as long as I live, forget the feeling of walking into New Orleans for the first time.
Yeah.
And seeing the arena for the first time.
Yeah.
I'm getting chills thinking about it. I'll never forget it. It was insane.
I remember walking through Dallas and just seeing all the WrestleMania stuff and all the wrestling stuff and all the wrestling fans. And I'm like, when I wear my wrestling t-shirts out in public, every once in a while I'll get acknowledged or like whatever.
Sure.
Just like everybody there though. And then we do the WrestleCon stuff, getting to meet some certain people. Yep. But then we walked into AT&T Stadium and you told me, because you could see the stage from where we walked in, and you were like, put your head down. Don't look at it until we enter our section and then look. And I was like, okay, so I had my head down the whole time following Chris through. And when we went through that tunnel and seeing just the grandeur that is WrestleMania, it's something that if you've never experienced it in person, you need to experience it at least one time in your lifetime. It's amazing.
Tyler, know that you haven't been to a WrestleMania, but man, it's one of those things where we are going to kidnap you on a road trip with us, and we're going to go to WrestleMania.
And then come to Nashville.
It's coming to Nashville in 4 years.
Yeah.
Like it's going to happen. So it's one of those things that you just can't replicate.
Yeah.
Tyler, as great as WrestleMania is, it's the granddaddy of them all. We all look forward to it every year. But if you think back watching over the years, if you had to pinpoint a biggest letdown of WrestleMania, something at WrestleMania that has just disappointed you so much, and I know what Andy's answer is, something at WrestleMania that has just disappointed you, what was it?
Wow, that's a great question. I'm going to go to an obvious one. I think we all share. We didn't get the Sting Undertaker thing. I think Sting Triple H was okay, but it brought a lot of nostalgia. They defended it, both guys, but it's like, I just would have, you bring Sting in, they kind of were going back to the Monday Night Wars. I didn't think it was necessary. I thought you had a guy that finally came over. Let's just have a competitive match. I understand it, but that was a letdown. To me, Bret Hart, going back to Yokozuna, nothing against Hogan even, but Bret Hart should have been the man. Hogan should have passed the torch to Bret. I could see both sides of that. There's been some letdowns, even though with all the high points. Hopefully Cody, speaking of that, I think they'll resurrect whatever low point we have with the finish the story momentum. There's been so much. I mean, all the WrestleManias are running together. Me and Andy had the conversation going before trivia. You would think you would recall everything, but it's funny how everything just kind of flows together. It's like, what let me down? What was I excited about? That's what makes this trivia show so much fun. It's challenging our brains a little bit.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, the recent one obviously is last year with Cody and Roman and that whole thing. Honestly, though, the biggest disappointment for WrestleMania, for me, like the biggest disappointing moment was WrestleMania 37 with Randy and The Fiend. Like that whole thing, because everybody knows how big of a Bray Wyatt fan I am, and The Fiend was the coolest thing. And even after the Hell in a Cell debacle with Seth Rollins, they still found a way to somewhat bring the aura back around it. But that night, WrestleMania 37 just completely killed it. Yeah. Completely killed all the momentum they had with The Fiend. And that's the second Randy Orton Bray Wyatt match that was a letdown, because WrestleMania 33 they decided to do the projections and the bug stuff and all this other stuff. And it was like, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? So that was probably the biggest disappointment was WrestleMania 33 and WrestleMania 37. And then honestly, the deflating feeling of knowing Roman Reigns is going to win the main event, WrestleMania 32 through 33 and partly into 34, even though he didn't win in 34, but that deflating feeling is just something I don't want to go back through again.
You know, you guys gave answers that were fantastic, way more weighty than what my answer is going to be. My biggest disappointment in WrestleMania was Nicholas.
Oh, no, that was very disappointing.
Because
that was horrible.
I was there. There he
is right there.
There he is. Rousey's going to fall. Catch Rousey for me.
Yeah, he's making an appearance.
There he is. Nicholas, right there, ladies and gentlemen. Now listen, I like to poke fun at Jared. We're just going to sit Nicholas right there. He's going to sit right there. We like to poke fun at Jared because Jared was there with me. And,
right.
And he gets so mad at Nicholas. So I think it's fun to a point.
Right.
But at the time, being there in person, you thought of all the people that this could be.
Yeah.
Braun Strowman's Mr. Partner. Like Jericho was a possibility.
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio was a possibility.
The Rock was a possibility.
The Rock was a possibility.
Yeah.
Batista. There's all these New Japan guys that in the crowd.
Okada was literally right there as he walked past them.
Okada was there. Tanahashi was there. People started chanting for No Way Jose because he was in the crowd. Like there was so many people that it could be. And then it was John Cone, the referee's son, Nicholas. Cool. Okay, fine. Who are we doing a favor putting Nicholas in the match? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, the only thing I could see is like now every kid that goes to WrestleMania is like, man, that could be me.
Yeah, I know.
That could be me. Like, and that's the part that like we as adults tend to forget is like this is still for kids in some ways.
Yep.
Like some of it is. But I also remember being like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Yep.
But part of me was also like, I really hope Cesaro gives this kid a swing. Like he could take a Cesaro swing and be fine.
That would have been hilarious.
That'd have been amazing if he'd took a Cesaro swing.
That would have been funny.
That would have been so funny. Tyler, I'll throw to you on this last question before we head back to trivia. If you had to pick a favorite match in WrestleMania history, narrow it down to one. I know you mentioned a bunch. Narrow it down to one. What's your favorite WrestleMania match ever?
That's a tough one. My favorite match, to be realistic, during my time, I would go Austin Rock. But if I got to go back to the 80s, reviewing it back before my time, I would go, Steamboat Savage was pretty tough.
Yep.
I did love that match. So that was a few at least. It was hard to narrow it down, man. It really is to a favorite.
Well, you picked two of the best.
Yep. Mine is probably end of an era.
Yeah.
Triple H, Taker.
Sean is the ref.
Hell in a Cell. Just the super kick into the pedigree kick out still gets me to this day. I know he's kicking out, but there's still parties like, nope, that's it. Streak died right there. I just forgot about it. And then he kicked out. Yeah, he did kick out. So just one of the best spots. It's so over the top in a lot of ways, but it's so good at the same time.
Speaking of biggest letdowns, the end of the streak.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you don't talk about that as a big letdown in WrestleMania history, something's wrong
you got
with
to.
it. Yep. If I had to pick a favorite match, this is easy for me. Shawn Michaels Undertaker WrestleMania 25. There's literally not a match on planet Earth that is better than that match.
Yeah.
You will never convince me otherwise.
Yeah.
If I have to pick a number two, though, man, let's give an honorable mention to the WrestleMania 20 main event. Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and Chris Benoit triple threat match. Oh my gosh. I know that
was great.
some people are a little iffy on watching Benoit stuff. Not me. I can watch it. It's fine.
Yeah.
This match, Tyler, I mean, the night they crown Chris Benoit the guy, and it takes Shawn and Triple H to do it.
Yeah.
Shawn and Triple H both bleed like stuck pigs. I mean, my goodness, what a main event that was.
Oh, go out of your way to those who have not seen it. It is a just incredible matchup. Yep. I mean, incredible, it's not even the word. It's just easy to say. I mean, those guys just told an amazing story. And Benoit was already getting established, pardon me, but I mean, come on, Triple H and Shawn was in it.
Yep.
They believed in him, and that's all you need.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If I had to give an honorable mention, it'd probably be Austin Brett, too. 13.
Oh, yeah. You can't.
That's such a good one.
Yeah.
It's such a good one.
Yeah, that's fantastic. All right. A little bit of fun down memory lane there. Don't forget, if you're checking us out, make sure you check out our Pro Wrestling Tees store, prowrestlingtees.com/Squared Circle Radio. Get yourself a fancy t-shirt. It's the best way to support the podcast. We would appreciate it very much. Go check it out, and then take a picture of yourself, post it on social media, tag us at SQ_radio. And Andy, I can't believe all week I failed to mention, I think I mentioned it maybe once, but the fantastic figures that I'm lining up behind us from all these WrestleMania events.
They're themed.
Every figure that you see back here and have been for our recap WrestleMania shows have all depict a WrestleMania in this era.
Yeah.
So you've got Nicholas from 34, Rollins in the middle, Undertaker from the Boneyard match back there. That's Cody from his return, Becky from 35, Logan Paul's back
Austin
there.
from 38.
Austin from 38. Yeah. So just some fun decorations that I know you people watching on video might not be able to zoom in and see, but just hopefully we'll take note of that.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
I love how you did it. And I've got to pay better attention. You've got it all in order.
All right, let's get back to some trivia. Let's ask 5 or 6 more questions here, and then we'll wrap this thing up. Tyler, I will go to you first.
Okay.
It's not really a question about this decade, but who has the overall record for competing in the most consecutive world title matches in WrestleMania history? Is it Charlotte Flair, Randy Orton, Triple H, or John Cena? Most consecutive world title matches at WrestleManias.
That's a good one. I'm going to have to go with Triple H.
Andy, do you have a guess?
I'm going to go with Charlotte. Really?
Charlotte has the most for the women.
Yeah.
At 5, but the overall record is the GOAT, John Cena, with 7. He competed for the world title at WrestleManias 21 through 27.
That's ridiculous.
Isn't it?
It's amazing.
All right, Andy. WrestleManias are most known for big moments, and most big moments happen with title switches. Which WrestleMania, counting the pre-show, had 8 title changes in one show, the most in WrestleMania history? Was it 39, 35, 30, or 29?
I'm going to go with 35 because it had a lot. I'm going with 35.
That is correct. Yeah. 8 title changes happened on 39.
It's crazy.
2 more titles were defended. The Usos and Samoa Joe survived that night.
Yeah.
The rest of them changed
crazy.
hands. All right. Tyler, coming to you. Dolph Ziggler. That's a blast from the past. He's been one of the most utilized and longest tenured wrestlers in the history of WWE, but when it comes to singles matches at WrestleMania, the show-off only had 1. Which WrestleMania did it happen at? Was it 31, 34, 36, or 37?
I'm going to go with 31.
Singles match?
Singles match for Ziggler. Andy, what do you think?
What were the other 3 options?
34, 36, and 37.
I don't remember anything from 36 because there's the pandemic one. I'm going to go with 36.
That is correct. Dolph Ziggler wrestled Otis at WrestleMania 36, fighting over Mandy Rose.
Yeah.
How could I not think of, well...
Tyler, I teed you up so good for that one. That was you.
I don't know why I wanted to think 31, but I'm glad Andy got it. He deserved it because these are kind of tough. It's like...
They are.
Did that happen? But it did.
It did happen. That's correct. All right, Andy, coming to you next. Who are the only two superstars in WrestleMania history to have headlined the show in their first appearance?
In their first appearance.
And it doesn't count WrestleMania 1. That's
Right.
an obvious one.
It's like their first time ever at WrestleMania.
At a WrestleMania, yes. I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
Both of them are fairly recent.
Okay. And headlined.
Headlined main event of WrestleMania.
Wasn't Ronda, because she wrestled at 34 and went in the main event.
That's correct.
Wasn't Roman, because the Shield wrestled at 29.
And 30.
Yeah. And Daniel Bryan. Headlined. That's the one that's throwing me off, is headlined.
Tyler, get ready. Coming to you if he doesn't get it.
Their first WrestleMania.
Yep.
I'll go with Brock
That is correct.
for one.
That is correct. WrestleMania 19.
Yeah. And then Charlotte?
Charlotte wrestled at 32, and that was not the main event.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Tyler, do you have a guess?
I've got a guess, but boy, this is going out on a limb. Wasn't Becky, was it?
It's a good guess. The correct answer is of the female variety. Bianca Belair.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Oh, my goodness.
Of course, because she debuted at WrestleMania 36.
After. Yes, she showed
She
up.
showed up at WrestleMania 36,
She showed
and
up.
then she main evented WrestleMania 37 with Sasha.
Yep.
Oh, of course.
Bianca Belair. All right, Andy, coming back to you on this one. Her counterpart at WrestleMania 37 was
Sasha.
Sasha Banks, the boss. Sasha, just like Dolph Ziggler, has been used in several different roles over the years. But her first singles match, no, sorry, that was Dolph. Sasha only has one WrestleMania victory under her belt.
Mm-hmm.
Which WrestleMania was it?
WrestleMania 38, where her and Naomi won the titles, because I remember Viv was talking about that beforehand. Yeah.
That is correct, and then she walked out a month later.
She did.
Yeah, they did.
Tyler, she didn't take that victory too well.
Nope.
No, she did not. We definitely heard about that for a long time and still probably will.
All right. This is going to be a tough one, so I'm going to get both of you guys involved. I'm not going to just single you up here.
Okay.
So, if you got names, name them. There are 5 wrestlers who have wrestled at WrestleMania the night after their Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Between the both of you, can you name all 5?
Ray.
Correct?
After their Hall of Fame induction.
So the Hall of Fame induction happened on Saturday. They wrestled on Sunday, or in Ray's case, Friday, and he wrestled on Saturday.
Did Edge?
Edge did not.
Okay.
2 of them happened on the same show.
Did Shawn?
Shawn did not.
Was Shawn the next year?
Shawn was the next year. Same as Edge. Same next year.
2 of them happened on the same show.
2 of them happened on the same show.
I know one of them. Angle?
Incorrect.
When did he get inducted?
What about Ric Flair?
Angle got inducted the night before 33, and he wrestled at 35.
34 and 35. Yeah.
What, Tyler?
Did Ric Flair do it?
Ric Flair did
After he was
it.
inducted?
The night after he was inducted, he wrestled Shawn Michaels.
That's right.
So there's 2. 3 more.
Goldberg?
That is incorrect. He wrestled at 33, and he got inducted at 34. 2 of them you're not thinking of, and the 2 that happened on the same show, I don't think you're going to get. So I'm going to give it to
Like
you anyway.
old?
They're old guys, but
Yeah.
they wrestled at WrestleMania 25.
Oh, wait.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and Jimmy
Ah.
Snuka.
They wrestled Jericho.
They wrestled Jericho.
That's right.
And the last one, Triple H.
DX.
Triple H.
He was inducted with DX and he wrestled Batista
I was thinking of singles guys. I wasn't
the
thinking of
night after.
tags.
See, I tricked you on that one. Tyler, I'm going to throw to you the
And that
last
was
question.
35, right?
Yep.
I'm going to throw to you on the last question, Tyler. Here we go.
Okay.
Who has headlined the most WrestleManias? Is it The Undertaker? Is it Roman Reigns? Is it Triple H? Or is it John Cena?
That's a good question. I'm going to go back to Undertaker.
It's not The Undertaker. Andy?
Roman's in it 7 times. Cena did it a lot. I'm gonna go with Roman. Yeah.
That is correct. Our tribal chief has headlined the most WrestleManias. I don't know what the actual number is.
Because he
but
did 31, 32, 33, 34.
Yep.
Didn't 35.
36.
Didn't 36.
Not 30, sorry. Did not-
37, 38, 39.
And he's
And
about
he's
to
about
add.
to do 40.
He's about to add 2 more to it because they count night 1 and 2.
So,
So-
9. That'll be 9, I think.
He'll be up to 9. We'll acknowledge our tribal chief one more time. Speaking of acknowledging our tribal chief, WrestleMania 40. Tyler, it's tomorrow, man. Now, I'm going to disclaimer this. I'm saying it's tomorrow, but for you listening, we are recording this a little bit early. So if we say something that happens, sorry. All right. But Tyler, I'm going to throw to you first, man. What are your thoughts? Looking ahead at 40, we got a main event both nights that we don't exactly know how it's going to shake out, featuring Roman Reigns, lots of stuff. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are I think Cody is going to finish the story. I think they made the right call last year. I know Andy's probably going to disagree with me, but I will say that I know they got the tag team match, but I think Rock is going to turn on Roman. I think he's going to either take over the bloodline or he's going to help Cody, where it looks like he's been aligned with Roman, because I think the seeds have been sown a little bit. If you've been paying attention, the way he signals his hand, the way he calls himself the final boss, I don't think there's going to be room enough for those egos. So even in storyline, it's going to make sense. Maybe this actually helps Cody, believe it or not, is a Rock turn. I'm kind of trying to think of it from that perspective. So I think there's a lot of interest with which way they could go. But I'm looking forward to not only the tag team match, but the match between Roman and Cody. On night 2, I presume, because night 1 will have the tag team match with Cody and Seth taking on Rock and Roman. And it'll depend on the stipulation, too, out of the tag team match.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. It's one of those things where we just don't know which direction it's going to go, Andy.
Yeah.
Even still.
Yeah, I mean, there's 1,000 scenarios where this could play out, good and bad for all of it. But I think night 1 is going to end in a way that is going to make night 2 even more unclear.
Absolutely, it will.
In a way that is going to at least put a lot of doubt towards one camp.
Yep.
And whatever camp that is, I'm hoping they put a lot of doubt towards Cody, because if it's a lot of doubt towards Roman, then I'm going to be real nervous going into night 2. But I don't know how you can do this without finishing Cody's story at this point.
I don't know. I mean, lots of rumors about Seth turning on Cody. I don't think that makes any sense if he's not a champion.
Yeah.
Because them feuding without a title again just doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Lots of speculation about Rock turning. We speculated about that a couple of weeks ago, whether Roman turns on Rock instead of Rock turning on Roman.
Yeah.
I don't know.
True.
I'll tell you this. I remember vividly Andy telling you last year, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn beat the Usos night 1. I said, I am really doubting night 2. I'm really doubting Cody's likelihood of winning, and it happened. So I'm telling you right now, Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins win night 1. Lock in for the long reign for the tribal chief, because I don't think it happens.
Well, I told you this a couple weeks ago, and I'm still feeling good about it. My lock of WrestleMania is Cody winning.
Yes, you did. That cut is available on our
It
YouTube
is.
channel.
It
Go
is.
check it out. Most viewed video on our YouTube channel. Go check it out. Again, I'm still
But I see what you're saying.
24 hours away.
Yeah,
I'm still not ready to agree
Yeah.
with you, because I just
But I
don't know. I just don't feel good about it.
Here's what we said. Here's what the argument was. I think it was your argument after Cody didn't win last year is, what do you do with Cody next?
Yep.
If he doesn't win, what do you do with Cody?
Yep.
I mean, to me, if he doesn't win, he's going to the mid-card area. Not like full-time, but it just is it's not going to be good for him, because I don't know where he goes from there after that.
Right. Tyler, any thoughts on if Cody doesn't finish the story, what they might do with him?
It's going to be fascinating if he doesn't finish the story and win against Roman Reigns. There's a lot of scenarios. Could Roman and Rock feud? Maybe it's Cody versus Rock. Maybe we get a feud out of that if he doesn't win. Maybe The Rock does cost Cody. And you brought up a good point about why Seth turning does not make a lot of logical sense. I also want to turn to the Rollins-McIntyre matchup. I think Punk may cost McIntyre if he's going to be there. That's a good way not to get him too physically involved if he's injured. Yep. But I wouldn't mind seeing McIntyre win the match. I like Seth as champion, but I guess you're going to the scenario that it's good for the heels to chase the baby face a little bit or vice versa. But yeah, I kind of like CM Punk interjecting into the match, maybe ruining the moment for Drew, since he's been talking it up on social media and bragging about, taking Punk out.
Here's what I want to see. This is my dream scenario for that match. Again, CM Punk is going to be on Monday Night Raw on March 25th, which again has already passed. So again, if we say something that already happens, sorry, but we're recording this ahead of time. My scenario is that Punk is the special guest referee. And then we play out the Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Undertaker SummerSlam scenario from 97 to where Punk tries to cost Drew and he ends up costing Seth. And he has to count the 3 for Drew McIntyre to win the championship. That's how I'd play it.
Yeah, I could see that. The thing is, though, Punk hates both guys. So
it wouldn't be so bad for Punk and Rollins, but for Punk to have to count the 3 for all the crap that Drew has talked.
But I do think if he's not special guest referee, he is 1,000% on commentary for that match. I also would love for Punk to be on commentary for the night 1 match, the tag match, because he has a lot of history with Cody. He's got a lot of history with Seth. He's got a lot of history with The Rock. He's the one that at the press conference was saying, I'd have punched Rock right in the mouth, and you can see The Rock's reaction to that statement. So I would love it if Punk was on commentary
the whole show.
I think he could do commentary for kind of do the Samoa Joe WrestleMania 37. But then let him come back and wrestle, because I don't understand why we didn't do that with Joe. But I would love to see that happen. But for the Drew Seth match, I think it's going to be an underrated match.
For sure.
Like I think a lot of people are looking to the main event of night 2, which we should. But I think that one is going to be really, really good to see those two guys.
I'm just excited overall for WrestleMania to see what stories end, what stories begin, what stories continue. Lots of good stuff. Andy, what's something else real quick on the card that you're really looking forward to?
I'm really looking forward to LA Knight and AJ Styles.
Yes.
I think that's going to be a really good one between those two. I think both, because we talked about it a couple weeks ago, that LA Knight needs the WrestleMania win.
Yes.
AJ Styles just needs a win. Yes. Like we're at that point where AJ needs to get a big win, but LA Knight needs a WrestleMania win. So they kind of backed themselves into a corner a little bit with this, but it's going to be very curious to see where they go with both guys, no matter what happens.
Tyler, what about you? Something else on the card that you're really looking forward to?
I think what's compelling is the story with Damage Control. Io Sky taking on Bailey. I think Bailey's worthy of the moment to take the title from Io, but I can also see where Sky would retain. You could see it both ways.
Yep.
And there'll probably be some interference, but I think the way they've teased it with Jade Cargill and some of these others confronting Dakota Kai and all the Kabuki Warriors, maybe there's some backup for Bailey in case that happens where she can overcome the odds. So I'm looking forward to that women's match. I'm just happy for both of them. I think it's going to be a great match, and they'll be able to be a little more creative because it is WrestleMania. It's not on TV. It's premium live event, no offense, but you can do a lot more, and it's the grandest stage, so why not? This is a huge platform, and it's going to be awesome.
It's a huge spot for both of them. I'm very glad that they're both getting this spot. It's really, really cool. All right, let's wrap up this episode. Good stuff, guys. Tyler, thanks for playing along our fun trivia games.
You're very welcome.
Hopefully we didn't stump you too bad. Tyler does a whole lot of stuff, not just on the Squared Circle radio platform, not just on the MCWF. Tyler has a whole lot of stuff that he does. Tyler, tell everybody where they can find your work and just about the other stuff that you do.
Sure, they can find my work on at Dustin Tyler 86, also at Tyler's Takedowns without the S. But Tyler's Takedowns is a program on SJP World Media where I discuss some of the modern stuff, but I kind of go old school a little bit. And I'm having fun with it. A new episode just dropped. And, hey, I'm on Squared Circle Radio with these guys. I'm also I'm just doing a bunch of stuff. I'm speaking of being stumped. I'm afraid I'm going to leave out somebody, so I better just keep it at a couple guests this year. And also in the corner, that's another show on SJP World Media. Shout out to Benny. He does great jobs. He does it mainly solo, but he'll let me tag in. So every now and then. So that's a cool show. And hey, I'm just happy to be part of this show. It was fun to be stumped. I forgot how much probably WrestleManias I may have missed. Now that I think about it, maybe I didn't watch as many as I thought, but that's what made this exciting. It was a lot of fun, guys. Thank you.
Glad that you had fun. Again, you can catch Tyler on the SJP World Media platform. You can also catch him right here every Thursday on the MCWF. If you're not subscribed to our channel, what in the world are you waiting for? Make sure you are on YouTube and wherever you find your podcast, as the MCWF is audio only. So you want to go check out that podcast feed. Again, follow Tyler at Dustin Tyler 86 for all of his great work. Follow me at Chris Belcher 24. Andy is at Andy_SQR. Yeah. And the show is at SQ Circle _radio. Again, subscribe. If you haven't checked out the content from this week, please go do that. Josh Pate, yes, the late kicks. Josh Pate, the number 4 college football personality in the world.
He's really the number 1, though.
He's really number 1 in our hearts, even though he's number 4 on that list. He's number 1 in our hearts. The heck with Brandon Walker. Josh Pate made an appearance on this podcast. We talk about wrestling. The dude knows way more than you think he does. Dude is so smart. Go check out that interview as well as our previews as we get ready for tomorrow night, WrestleMania 40 XL. We're going to be live tomorrow night after WrestleMania. We're going to be live Sunday night after WrestleMania. If you want to listen to us live,
come hang out. Give us your thoughts, man, because it's going to be a wild weekend. A wild weekend personally. A wild weekend March Madness-wise, a wild weekend WrestleMania-wise. It's going to be a lot of fun. So come hang out with us.
Jared Justice is going to be here in person. We're even going to try to get Tyler Peters to be here in person. It's going to be a lot of fun. You don't want to miss it. Thanks for hanging out with us on Squared Circle Radio. We will catch you guys down the road.